A $495 polo. Ralph Lauren cashmere sweater contains, in many production runs, less than 100% cashmere. The remainder is wool or synthetic fibre blended in to reduce cost and improve machine washability. This is disclosed on the fibre content label in text, small enough that most men do not read it in the store. The price position implies pure cashmere. The label tells a different story. The difference between what the brand implies and what the label confirms is where the money goes when American men buy designer clothing they do not examine. This is not an isolated case. It is a pattern running through the most recognizable names in American menswear retail. Names that charge for heritage, craftsmanship and quality while delivering, in category after category, products whose construction and material content do not justify the price against alternatives that most men have never considered. By the end of this video, you will know which designer clothing lines are a complete waste of money at their current price and ownership structure, and exactly what to buy instead, not cheaper, better, constructed honestly, priced at what was made rather than at what the brand spent to convince you it was worth buying. Michael Kors, the department store premium that goes nowhere. Michael Kors is one of the most visible men's brands in American department stores. Walk into any Nordstrom, Macy's or Bloomingdale's men's floor, and the Michael Kors section occupies significant real estate. The suits, the dress shirts, the leather goods, the watches, all positioned at a price point above the basics rack and below true luxury, occupying the aspiration tier that department stores depend on for margin. The problem is not that Michael Kors makes not poor products. The problem is what the brand charges for products that are structurally ordinary, and what that charge represents relative to what was built. Michael Kors Holdings, now Capri Holdings, the publicly traded conglomerate that also owns Versace and Jimmy Choo, operates Michael Kors as a volume fashion brand. Its suits are produced in contracted overseas facilities. Its leather goods use materials and construction methods calibrated to hit retail price points that sustain department store margin, not to deliver construction quality at the stated price. A Michael Kors suit in their core collection retails in the United States at $350 to $595. The construction is fused throughout. The fabric is a wool blend, typically wool combined with polyester in varying percentages depending on the line. The suit is made to a price point, not to a construction standard. The brand's retail infrastructure, its advertising spend, and the department store margin embedded in the price account for the majority of what the customer pays above the manufacturing cost. At $495, this suit is priced against Suitsupply's Lazio half-canvas construction, pure Italian wool fabric direct-to-consumer pricing that eliminates the department store margin. The Suitsupply suit at $549 is better constructed, better fabricated, and more honestly priced than the Michael Kors at $495. The Michael Kors suit has a Bloomingdale's address and a fashion house name. The Suitsupply suit has canvas, where the Michael Kors has adhesive. Same price tier. The Suitsupply will still look like a suit in year 4. The Michael Kors will show delamination in year 2 if dry cleaned with any regularity. The brand name is on the label, the fusing is in the chest. One of those things costs money to produce, the other costs money to market. Boss by Hugo Boss. The German precision myth. Hugo Boss markets itself to the American professional man on the strength of a specific association. German precision, engineering discipline, the idea that the brand's Central European origins translate into superior construction and material standards. The association is effective, the product does not support it. Hugo Boss, currently trading as Boss, a publicly held company on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, produces its suits in a network of contracted manufacturing facilities, primarily in Eastern Europe and Asia, at volumes driven by global distribution targets that are incompatible with the construction discipline the brand's marketing implies. A Boss suit in their huge Genius line retails in the United States at $498 to $798. The construction is fused. The fabric is a wool blend in most of the standard line. Super 100's wool mixed with synthetic fibre to reduce cost and improve wrinkle resistance. The result is a jacket that presents well in the store, holds its shape for the first year of wear, and begins showing the signs of fused construction failure, delamination at the chest, lapels stiffening, loss of drape within 2 to 3 years of regular dry cleaning. The German precision narrative applies to the brand's design office and marketing department. It does not apply to the production floor. At $650, a Boss suit competes with J Press in their Ludlow and York Street lines, brands with genuine American tailoring heritage, using half-canvas construction in pure wool fabrics at prices starting at $700 to $1,100. It competes with the Spier Mackay suit, a Canadian direct-to-consumer brand offering half-canvas construction in pure wool at $399 to $499. Half-canvas at $399 from Spier Mackay outperforms fused construction at $650 from Boss on every metric that matters in a suit's long-term life. The precision is a brand promise. The fusing is a construction reality. At $650, the customer deserves to know which one he is getting. The German engineering is in the marketing copy. The adhesive is in the jacket. Balenciaga streetwear aesthetics at tailoring prices. Balenciaga occupies a specific and increasingly absurd position in the American luxury market, a brand charging luxury prices, often exceeding $1,000 for a t-shirt, $2,000 for a hoodie, $1,500 for a pair of jeans. For products whose physical construction is, by any objective standard, not luxury construction. It is streetwear construction. It is the construction of a well-made casual garment produced in contracted manufacturing facilities using standard commercial fabrics at a price that reflects nothing about the product and everything about the brand's current position in the fashion culture cycle. Balenciaga is owned by Kering. It was purchased in 2001 and has been managed since then as a fashion-forward brand whose pricing is driven by cultural relevance rather than construction merit. The creative direction under Demna, the brand's Georgian-born designer, has made Balenciaga one of the most discussed fashion brands in the world through a series of deliberately provocative design moves. The discussion has been converted into extraordinary price premiums. A Balenciaga oversized t-shirt retails in the United States at $550 to $895, depending on the season and the graphic. The fabric is cotton, in most production runs standard weight cotton jersey without a specified grade or mill origin disclosed. The construction is a standard t-shirt construction, serge seams, single needle finish at hem and collar, no reinforcement at stress points beyond what any basic commercial t-shirt construction provides. The garment is not constructed differently than a t-shirt retailing at $40. It is printed differently, branded differently, and placed in a retail environment designed to make $795 feel appropriate for a cotton jersey shirt. Compared to a reigning champ t-shirt at $65 to $85, a Canadian brand producing in heavyweight Suitsupply cotton with reinforced construction, specifically designed for long-term wear and shape retention. The reigning champ t-shirt uses a superior cotton-grade, heavier fabric weight and more durable construction than the Balenciaga. It costs $730 less. The Balenciaga t-shirt is not a waste of money in the sense of being poorly made. It is a waste of money in the sense that $795 of its price is buying cultural association, fashion positioning, and the specific social signal of wearing a brand that costs $795 for a t-shirt. None of that is in the cotton. If the cotton is what you are buying, $65 from reigning champ delivers more of it. The logo costs $730. The t-shirt costs $65. Know which one you are purchasing. How to stop wasting money on designer clothing. 4 practical tests. The brands in the first half of this video share a common structure. Price, driven by brand positioning. construction calibrated to production cost rather than stated value, and a retail environment designed to make the gap between price and product invisible. These 4 tests make the gap visible before the purchase. The fiber content comparison test. Before comparing prices between a designer brand and an alternative, compare fiber content labels. In the United States, fiber content must be disclosed on every garment. The label cannot say premium cashmere. It must say 85% cashmere, 15% wool, or 100% cashmere. Read the exact percentages. For cashmere, 100% is the standard you should expect at any price above $300. Blended cashmere, any percentage below 100%, is a different product and should be priced accordingly. If a brand charges $495 for a blended cashmere sweater, find the brand charging $250 for 100% cashmere from a verified Scottish or Mongolian mill. The fiber content is the product, the label is the evidence. For cotton, look for Supima, Pima, or extra long staple designations. Standard upland cotton is the baseline. Extra long staple fibers produce stronger, softer, more pill-resistant yarn. A $65 t-shirt in Supima cotton outperforms a $350 t-shirt in standard cotton on every measurable performance metric. The fiber designation is on the label, the price is on the tag. Read both before deciding which one is more important. For wool, look for Super 100s, Super 120s, which are verifiable industry classifications of fiber fineness. Italian wool and luxury wool are marketing descriptions, not fiber classifications. A Super 100's pure wool suit is a specific verifiable product. The premium Italian wool blend suit is a marketing phrase that could describe almost anything. The stitch and construction test. Turn every garment inside out before purchasing. The interior construction tells you what the brand spent on the physical product versus what it spent on the presentation. Look at seam lines under light. Are they straight, tight, and consistent? Count the stitches per inch on a critical seam, side seam, armhole, collar attachment. Fewer than 8 stitches per inch indicates a production speed over quality decision. Look at stress points, the base of side seams, the armhole junction, the crotch seam on trousers. Bar tacks and reinforcement stitching at these points indicate construction attention. Their absence indicates the opposite. On a designer t-shirt or casual shirt at $200 or above, the interior construction should be cleaner, more consistent, and more reinforced than a $40 shirt at H&M. If it is not, if the seam allowances are narrow, the stitching is loose, and the stress points are unreinforced, the price premium is going somewhere other than the construction. The wash and wear projection test. Before purchasing any garment above $150, research owner reports and reviews specifically focused on performance after 6 months to 2 years of regular wear. The failure modes to search for are specific. Pilling on knitwear after fewer than 10 wears indicates low-grade fiber or insufficient yarn twist. Collar collapse on dress shirts after 5 washings indicates insufficient interlining. Delamination on suit jackets and blazers indicates fused construction and dry cleaning damage. Cracking or peeling on leather surfaces indicates corrected grain leather with a polyurethane coating separating from the underlying hide. Fading of prints on graphic t-shirts after 3 washings indicates low-quality dye or printing process. If owner reports consistently describe these failures within the first year of ownership, the brand's price does not reflect durability. It reflects the period between purchase and the first visible quality failure, which is usually long enough that the return window has closed. The price justification test. For any designer purchase above $200, write down, before entering the store or completing the online checkout, exactly what specific construction or material advantage justifies the price over the best honest alternative in the same category. It's a better brand is not a construction or material advantage, and it looks more expensive is not a specification, and people will recognize it as a social signal, not a product quality. If the only justifications available are brand recognition, social signaling, and the retail environment's effect on your judgment, you are paying for those things, not for the garment. Make that purchase consciously or do not make it, but make it with accurate information about what the money is buying. If you want to know what your clothes are actually worth before you spend the money, subscribe. This channel follows the construction, not the campaign. The better alternatives. Reigning Champ, casual clothing built to last. Reigning Champ is a Vancouver-based brand producing casual clothing including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, shorts and sweatpants in heavyweight quality-grade fabrics with construction standards that most fashion brands charging 3 to 5 times more do not match. The brand operates on a single and defensible premise: use the best available fabric for the category and build the garment to last. Their heavyweight t-shirt uses Suitsupply cotton, a verifiable extra-long staple classification grown under license standards in the American Southwest, at a fabric weight heavier than standard commercial t-shirt production. The heavier weight resists distortion through washing, holds its shape at the collar and hem, and does not thin at friction points within the first year of regular wear. A Reigning Champ heavyweight t-shirt retails in the United States at $65 to $85. A comparable Balenciaga T-shirt retails at $550 to $895. A comparable Fear of God Essentials T-shirt retails at $55 to $90, and Fear of God Essentials uses a cotton polyester blend rather than pure Suitsupply cotton, meaning the Reigning Champ is the better fibre at a comparable price. A Reigning Champ midweight fleece hoodie retails at $145 to $195 in their core cotton fleece, or $250 to $320 in their premium varsity fleece constructions. A comparable Balenciaga hoodie retails at $1,250 to $1,895. The fabric weight, the construction, the fibre content and the long-term durability of the Reigning Champ hoodie are equivalent or superior to the Balenciaga at a fraction of the price. The $1,000 gap is entirely brand premium. The cotton is Suitsupply. The construction is honest. The price reflects the garment. Spier Mackay, the suit the department store doesn't carry. Most American men buying their first or second professional suit do so at a department store. Nordstrom, Macy's, Bloomingdale's, where the suit floor is dominated by brands including Michael Kors, Calvin Klein, Kenneth Cole, Tommy Hilfiger, and their various licensed product lines. All of these brands produce fused construction at their accessible price points. All of them charge a brand premium on top of fused construction economics. Spier Mackay is a Toronto-based direct-to-consumer men's brand that most American men have not encountered in a physical store because it does not sell through department stores. Its suits are available online and through a small number of its own retail locations. Its entry-level suit, half-canvas construction in pure wool fabric, retails at $399 to $499. Its premium lines reach $699 to $899 in higher-grade Italian fabrics. At $399, a Spier Mackay suit in half-canvas construction outperforms every fused suit on any American department store floor at any price, up to approximately $1,200 on the single most important quality metric, construction longevity. Half-canvas does not delaminate. Fused construction does. That distinction determines whether the suit looks like a suit in year 3 or whether it is replaced in year 2. The fabric in Spier Mackay's standard line is pure wool. No synthetic blending in their core half-canvas offerings. The finishing is clean and consistent. The silhouette options cover classic, slim and modern fits. The direct-to-consumer model eliminates wholesale and department store margin, which is why a better constructed suit costs $399 rather than $795. The department store does not carry this suit because the department store's margin structure requires brands that accept wholesale terms. Spier Mackay does not need the department store. The customer does not either. Half canvas at $399, fused at $595. The construction is in the jacket, not in the store. Wolverine 1000 mile boot, American heritage at a fraction of designer boot prices. Designer boots, Chelsea boots from St. Laurent at $1,100, ankle boots from Bottega Veneta at $1,200, field boots from Belstaff at $700 occupy the premium end of the American men's boot market with a specific promise: Quality leather, quality construction, worth the investment. The construction reality in most cases is cemented soles and corrected grain or nubuck leather construction methods and material grades that do not justify the prices charged. A Saint Laurent Chelsea boot at $1,100 is cemented. It cannot be resoled. The leather is nubuck, a top grain leather buffed on the grain side to create a soft, uniform surface that wears more visibly than full grain leather over time. Wolverine has manufactured boots in Rockford, Michigan since 1883. Their 1,000-mile boot, introduced in 1914 and produced in continuous variation since, uses full-grain leather uppers, Goodyear welt construction, and a leather insole. The boot retails in the United States at $350 to $450 depending on the configuration. It can be resoled. The full-grain leather develops a patina with wear and conditioning. The Goodyear welt means a qualified cobbler can replace the sole without replacing the upper, extending the boot's functional life across decades of regular wear. At $400 versus $1,100, the Wolverine 1,000 mile is better constructed, more resolable, made from better leather, and manufactured by a company that has been producing this specific boot for over a century. The Saint Laurent boot is better designed for a specific fashion aesthetic and carries a brand that communicates something in certain rooms. For the man who wants a boot rather than a brand signal, the construction case is not close. The welt is on the Wolverine, the cement is on the Saint Laurent, the price advantage is also on the Wolverine. Conclusion. The clothing in the first half of this video, Michael Kors suits, Boss fused jackets, Balenciaga T-shirts, is not fraudulent. It is overpriced. The distinction matters. Overpriced means the physical product can be evaluated and compared. And when it is evaluated and compared, the price does not hold up against alternatives at the same or lower cost that deliver better construction, better fibre, or better long-term value. The mechanism behind overpricing in designer clothing is consistent across every brand examined. A marketing investment that creates perceived value exceeding the product's actual material and construction value, combined with a retail environment that suppresses the comparison that would reveal the gap. The store is designed to make the price feel natural. The product examined independently often is not. American men spend money on designer clothing for reasons that are rational within their context. They want professional credibility, social recognition, and the assurance that comes from buying a known brand. These are legitimate desires. The problem is that the clothing industry has learned to charge for those desires without delivering the product quality that originally justified premium pricing. The brand name used to signal construction standards. The construction standards are gone in many cases. The name and the price remain. The alternatives in this video exist because some brands still make the construction case independently of the marketing case. Reigning Champ does not need to charge $795 for a t-shirt because the t-shirt justifies its $75 price on its own terms. Spier Mackay does not need department store placement because half canvas at $399 sells itself to any buyer who understands what canvas is. Wolverine does not need a $1,100 price point because a Goodyear welted boot in full-grain leather at $400 is the honest price for that construction. These brands are not compromises. They are what the designer brands were supposed to be before the financial engineering replaced the product engineering. The designer label tells you what the brand wants you to believe about the garment. The construction, the fibre content, and the sole edge tell you what the garment actually is. Read the construction. Ignore the label. Buy the garment. Price talks loud. Construction tells the truth.